Hey guys, welcome to Horse Race Investing, where we mostly talk about stocks and I guess investing in general. I think I have a very super underrated investor right here. I would call him one of the super investors, right? So, here today we're gonna talk about Stanley Drunkenmiller, and he was an American. He's an American billionaire. He's worth about $8 billion, and he ran a fund. Uh, which he was making like 30% each year, which is even more than Warren Buffett was, who was making 20% a year. But he closed his fund because it was taking a toll on his mental health and stuff like that, which is understandable. He was running it for a long time, and I think his strategy is overall it was more risk intensive compared to like Warren Buffett's, which was just sit and watch. He's probably most known for working closely with George Soros, and where they did the quantum fund right here. And basically, over those 30-year career, he only had 4 down quarters, which is really crazy. So overall, he was probably their most popular trade was when they broke the Bank of England, when they shorted the British pound sterling in 1992, and they made over $1 billion in profit. And when um, they did that, Drunkenmiller brought the idea to Soros, and then he said Drunkenmiller said, "Oh, we'll spend most of our money on it, right?" Then they said they would spend most of their money on it. Oh, then George Soros said, "No, we'll take a loan and we'll do double, or we'll go 200% margin into it." And then that's how they made $1 billion. So kind of a crazy story. Most of his um, stuff, or most of his career, wasn't that like taking this crazy high risk stuff. So he has his own investment fund, or he has his own family office. So that's called Decrease Capital. I don't even know how to say that. I'm gonna be honest. So overall, I think the best way to see how he's investing. So overall, he's a macro trader, but I think how he does it is, I think most of these billionaires, it's very hard to pick up from how they invest from what they're saying, because they kind of say one thing and invest in another thing, because they change their mind a lot. A lot of these investors, I would say more like maybe the really long term Warren Buffett, they don't change their opinion that much, but I would say mostly like these macro guys, they change how they think every day even. So overall, I would say what I see right now from a strategy, he mostly finds these trends in these companies, and then he finds the best, who will be the best winner, and kind of invests in them long term. And he talks about, how the macro is not good in the times today. And then in other interviews, when you really watch deeply, he'll say, I think the US economy will always go up, or the US stocks will always go up long term. So overall, from what I see, I think he's more on the side US stocks will always go up. Even if he doesn't like the macro, he will still invest. So basically, what he did was he bought calls on Nvidia, like options, and then he sold his Nvidia shares. So he's probably breaking it even about, probably, and probably he just wanted the cash for something else, so he just used the leverage on Nvidia with the options. So, and he also sold all of his Google, which is interesting. And I saw Bill Ackman actually buying that, so maybe a different mindset. But his top positions are Microsoft, Compang, and Nvidia, and we'll look into this other website that shows this better. So this is a little box that shows all of his stocks and stuff like that. So basically, here we're gonna look at his positions. So in his option holding, he only has Nvidia, which we talked about, and he has a lot of gains on this probably. So let's look at his top position. So Microsoft, 13% of his portfolio. he likes it still because as we see, you can see the ownership list here. It's still going up. So that's really good. That's a good sign that he still likes the stock and stuff like that. He's in the green, so he probably he's in the green, so he's just not worrying about it as much, and he's just letting the profits keep running. So, and that's what these long-term compounders can do, like Microsoft. They've been growing for 20% a year right now, so kind of crazy growth for that big of a company. That's why he probably likes it over Apple. Microsoft's been growing faster. His second position, Coupang, we'll talk about that a little later. I'll talk just a quick thing on it. So basically, it's like the Amazon of South Korea, and that's what a lot of people say. Amazon's a completely different company. They have AWS, all that stuff. So he probably wanted a pure retail play, which is why he probably bought this. And this is actually a position he has a loss on, one of the only ones. And he's been buying more, so he probably has faith in it. So let's look at his next one, NVIDIA. We looked at this. It says he's selling, but since he has the call options over there, he probably still has faith. He has a buy price about 187, so he's way in the green on this, 300%. So he's been into this AI thing before everyone was. So that's what I like about him. He's 70 years old, and he can still see these trends in these like modern markets like AI. And then the next one I'll talk about is Eli Lilly. He has a 7.5% stake in that, or of his portfolio. So basically, he's been selling a good amount. So basically, Eli Lilly is right now really hyped because of a drug they have that they're making, which is like a real weight loss thing that might like solve weight loss apparently. I don't know if that will really work, but it's been in the testing, and apparently it works really well. So that's been pushing the stock price up a lot. It's worth about like 700 or 600 billion dollars right now, the company. So kind of crazy in the Medicare or medical space. But stock's probably around like 750 right now. So he's been like over doubled his money. So very, very good returns. So those were most of the big positions. This is another company he has a big position in, which is an oil company. And he's probably bullish on it in general, just oil and probably how the company management runs. So that's why he picked that one. He believes in it a lot, so he's still buying. And these other ones are probably smaller positions, so we don't have to look into them too deep. You guys can look into them and look at them online for yourself. But I would say this is a big one